So a few years back, I put up a video using the Yost Vise Screw to make a woodworking vise for my workbench. And I got some deserved flack in the comments about how it was done. I know it was not a good design. I said though that it was a temporary solution, one of those kind of need a tool, make a tool situations until I could improve it. Shortly after that, I did improve it, just never got a video up, but I did turn it into a leg vise. And there might be somebody out there now who's getting that Yost Vise Screw and wants to make a leg vise, and so I can show you quickly how I did that with mine, because it works great. I do have some woodworking projects coming up, so we'll have some videos coming out with those, but let's take a look at this vise. I'll also show you my bench because it's not a great bench, but again, it's a temporary solution. All right, so first of all, here is the bench. Now, don't judge me on the bench. This is not a professional woodworking bench. I don't do a ton of woodworking. I do a lot of other stuff on here, and this is just a beater bench that can really take a lot of abuse. You know, I mean, it's been sitting outside for 2 or 3 years now in the rain, getting rotted, having carpenter ants chewing it up, but you know what? It still holds up well. There's no professional joinery, it's just screws, and it doesn't rack when I'm planing on it. I can chisel on it. You know, it's solid. Hopefully, we'll have a shop in the next year or so and we can build a nicer bench. But here is the vise. And so what we have, the screw goes through the front. This is the 18-inch Yost Vise Screw. So this opens up pretty darn wide. I think you can get this up to 24, maybe even 36 inches, but this is the 18-inch one. And down at the bottom here, so we have that brace rod that goes through there, which with all these little holes, right, we can pin it wherever we need to so that the bottom is stopped, and then it will lever against the front at the top. Let me go ahead and pull it out. So I think the most important piece of this vise is this piece right here. You can see I have on the diagonal all these holes drilled in here. So it actually comes out to about every ½ an inch. There's a spot where I can put a pin through here that will wedge against the front of the workbench that will cause that levering action to really be able to grip down and vise things. This goes right through the face of the vise all the way through, and it's just wedged here in the back side, and it is wedged on the front side as well. That's a double wedge that comes in from each direction, and that way I didn't have to use any screws. If we look at the screw portion of it over here, turn this around, so you can see that the screw comes all the way through. There's no hardware or anything on the back side of here. On the front, this just screws into the face. So when you buy your screw, if you buy the Yost Vise Screw, this is what you get. You get this portion here, you get the screw out the back side, and then there's going to be there's a plate on the inside underneath. I'll show you in a little bit. And then the handle here, I just made this for a long time. I just had a metal bar in there. I finally made this, and this works great. I made it a little too long though, because it does bump down here. So I could have made this a bit shorter. I thought I needed the length for levering action. I don't. It gets plenty of power without having that extra length. I did put a little, some rubber gaskets here, which are nice because they, if this is coming down and my finger's in there, it's not going to get pinched too badly, and it's not going to damage the wood as this smacks against the metal there. Let's take a look down below. Okay, so you can see we just have a hole that goes all the way through the apron, and then we have a hole here for our bottom bar to go through, and this is just for it to rest on, just to give it a little bit more support. I did have to put this plate on the front of here because my bench has a little lip up the front to here, and so that just stops, it makes it flush so that material's not going to tip sideways in there. Behind here, there are some bolts that go through the apron to attach the hardware on the back side, the receiver for that screw, basically a giant nut, and I will show you that here now. So there you can see the giant nut basically. It's just bolted on. You can bolt it to the back side of your apron, or if you have to add a piece like I did, then you can do that. So this piece that I added here, you'll see it has these wheels. So when that bar comes through, it's going to ride on these wheels, and they're just going to stop it from tipping up and down, taking some of the weight and making it slide easier. So let me show you this thing in action. Let's say you got a wide board that you want to put in there. Because this is the 18-inch vise screw, it has a wide throw. I mean, we can get it nice and wide open to be able to put something larger in here. And once you pin off the bottom, right, then when you close this off, that's going to grip on there real nice and tight. I mean, that is pretty solid in there. Look, I'm picking up the bench. You know, that is solid. We got something smaller. Take out your pin. Those are down to where you need it. And we can put that in there. Again, that is really solid in there. Need to go even thinner? Not a problem. You know? So, leg vise is awesome. That Yost Vise Screw was inexpensive. I think you can still get it on Amazon pretty inexpensively. And rather than buying some kind of scissor thing, if you want to just make it yourself, this has been a great way to go. All right, so hopefully this video was helpful for somebody who may be thinking about, okay, I want to build a leg vise, how to do that. That Yost screw was great. You can buy them, like I said, on Amazon. They're not too expensive. And so check that out. And if you have any questions, comments, or anything like that, feel free to leave them down in the comment box below. Thank you. Bye-bye.